Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader Training Room for Thursday, November 18th, 2021. Please do say hello. And mash that like button if you feel like you're getting value from the content. Starting us off this morning, crude, and we also have a trade on the YM, a short. This is off the S20 SMA. That's going to be 58.74, it looks like. And there's target money management and target one on the YM. Soybeans had a get in sync short setup that looks like it to see where it got to. Then it looks like it picked up a long, hit target one, and back to one tick on the trailer. That bar closed 2 seconds after our start time, so not likely to have been able to get into the short. So the long would be a one and done on soybeans. Now a strong downward move, but we haven't got a trade. And the YM hitting target 2, stop now at 858. $26 ticks to target 1, 40 to target 2. And hitting 857, so still active. Nothing yet. There's our first trade on heating oil. 39.07 triggering in. And it appears that's going to be, no, just getting target 2. So it looks like it's just going to be a break-even trade. All right, as I was saying, as we jumped in, we also have a short on the pound Aussie setting up right around 9 o'clock. I would push that down. It's not a very big trade. It's only 11 ticks to target 1, so I would want to keep my adjustments fairly small, even though a 2-tick adjustment around the 50 EMA will get us to 31. I wouldn't want to take 2 more pips all the way down to 29, given the size of the trade. And none of those adjustments would have kept us out. We'd have been triggered in anyway. Took some heat, but now we're coming back down to the entry again. And a short on Heating oil. Money management again. And let's see if we can get down to our fixed target this time. So as I was saying on crude, we did have a get in sync short that got us target 1. That is our primary objective. The YM stopped out at 858, so that is one and done. And unleaded, 905. Actually, that is trade number 3 on the unleaded chart. We started off at 9 o'clock. The short is in that first yellow long is too early. The second yellow long is a stop and reverse. He ends up getting in at 334. Stops and reverses at 304 for a 60 tick loss on 2 positions. Pick up two pips or 2 ticks on the break even short. Then we finally pick up the long at 346, and that goes to a 75 tick target 2. And by the way, crude and unleaded are on the January contract again, a reminder from yesterday. And trails all the way up to 479 from 346. So 130 ticks or so. Let's see, 346 to 479. 133 ticks on the trailer, 75 on the fixed target, 208 ticks on that trade, and that puts us positive 150 ticks on the day after the 3 trades. So POQ on unleaded. We did get scalp target and 1 tick break even, or 1 tick on the trailer on heating oil. So we got full target 3. We have a third trade there. Soybeans picking up a one and done small trade this morning. Target 1 and 1 tick for each of the rest of the positions on the trailer. The YM is done. Both our spotlight energy charts are done. Let's see what unleaded did on catapult. That goes back to 845. So that goes too far before our start time. We pick up a break even on the short. And it looks like we pick up, we got a break even on the long. That went up and came back in the same bar. Short is a full loss. And then a long that's a full loss. Missed the the strong up move in unleaded. Then it looks like we pick up a long on a continuation. Just missing our target and giving us a 1 tick break even. A small trailer and no target on the short, so only one target this morning. A lot of break evens and a couple of losses, so not an outstanding morning for Catapult on unleaded. Our pound Aussie trade is still short. Actually, our money management would be target 1 at 11 ticks. Or 11 pips. That's a pip below our minimum move for break even, but it's within our acceptable targets. With spread gets us out for about 9 ticks, so we will typically take that. Bean oil on the January contract. There's our start time. 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern. Central time is, of course, the exchange time for bean oil. Triggers the long and gives us a full stop out for our 1 trade of the session. If you continue to trade, we're now in a short. And let's see where we are. Oh my. Strong move, a little too early for us on the micro ES. Getting us to targets before the 9:35 bar closes, or before 9:35, 8:35 Central, our exchange time for the start of our trade plan. So we're looking for the next trade between 8:35 and 9 o'clock for the first mini session. Quick session on the balance of most of our charts this morning. And good morning to those joining us a few minutes late. As I said, quick session. 1 and done on crude, January contract. 3 and done on unleaded on Spotlight. Getting an initial stop and reverse, a break even, and a strong long trade. And there is a new short on heating oil Catapult chart at 38.09. CPX2 is basically just a subset of counterpunch, and that's what the soybeans chart was counterpunch. I'm running the full counterpunch calculator, but you can run the same charts on CPX2. Just doesn't have quite all the features that counterpunch does. But it's also a little bit simpler to run because it doesn't have all those features. So, trade-offs, always trade-offs in trading. Compromises. And it looks like a full loss on the heating oil short. Trade number 3. The 377 tick and the 8 tick range are both good charts to use on CPX2 for crude. The 20 tick range or momentum bar on unleaded is a candidate there as well. But there again, do your testing. Make sure you have a plan that gives you a statistical advantage, and then trade your plan. All right. Micro ES catapult chart. That trade stopped out, so we're looking for the next trade. No, that was not a trade, part of our trade plan. So pound Aussie and the micro ES. And let's see what it's doing on the. And the bean oil was second losing trade, so definitely you want to be out of that session. It looks like it's a little bit noisy. Beautiful trade on bean oil yesterday in the trade room. Troy, I believe, showed that. And another short on heating oil. Actually, that's not money management on that. Micro ES trade. Money management would be one tick above target 2. So 94.25 would be money management. Okay, heating oil at beyond money management actually looks like it hit money management and came back and stopped out for a break even. So it looks like things are slowing down this morning. Quick flurry at market open and then settling down and moving sideways. Other questions this morning? I don't have a lot else this morning. Bean oil volume did roll to January as well. So we're on the January contract there. Oops, as I should be on heating oil and I'm not. Which the YM is initiating another downward move, as well as the micro ES. Crude coming up on its 10 a.m. session in a little over 5 minutes. About five and a half minutes. And we have a potential get in sync trade there. $78.13. Targets at 30 and 39. Money management at 28. So that will become a valid trade at 10 o'clock. And we're about a little less than 5 minutes away now. assuming it has not gone, it has triggered in on the chart. Obviously, we're not in that yet. As long as it doesn't hit the stop or target 1, we can get in sync with it. All right. And the pound Aussie trade stopping out. So full stop there. Nothing so far. And doesn't look like we'll get a setup on the 10 o'clock bar. So we'll wait to, or 9 o'clock bar, actually exchange time for the micro ES. So we will have to wait till 8:30 or 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern for the next mini session on micro ES. Heating oil, yeah, heating oil looks. Yeah, we got a little bit of got a target 3 and a little bit of a trailer. Looks like we hit target 3 on that short and that one. So it looks like on the correct contract, we actually did a little bit better. Scalp target 3, fixed target achieved on the long, on the short. Long didn't trigger. Another fixed target on the short, a fourth fixed target on the short. Full loss on the long, but with 4 fixed targets hit, you should be POQ there. And there is a possible short at 77.89. For those on Trade a Day, Kevin did post early this morning that he was not going to be available and that Trade a Day would be dark today. All right, 10 a.m. session, so we have a possible short at 77.89. and they get in sync long at 78.13. So we're looking for a crude to go one way or the other. Looks like it touched the entry on the short. That would actually take the long off the table, because that also was a stop on the short, on the long rather. So the only trade on the table for the 10 a.m. crude session right now is the short at 77.89. Pound Aussie is flat, and the micro ES is flat, and we'll be standing down to 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central, which is the exchange time for the micro ES. And I had the entry in for that trade, and it's still possible, but I didn't get filled, so that might turn out to be a serendipitous no fill. If it, it looks didn't hit the stop, so we're not out of this yet. That's and 6 8 on heating oil is a break even on the short, so definitely should be done there. not a lot more to talk about, folks. Unless there are questions, we'll close it down about 20, 25 after. Crude getting back down within a tick of the entry. And now pulling back up a bit. Looks like it just doesn't want to get away from the 50 EMA. A couple of oscillations back and forth. Very slight downward bias in the highs and the lows, but very much sideways at the moment. Okay, on CPX, a white signal with no targets means that, and we had that situation on soybeans, and I can show you what's going on there. Now, this is on NinjaTrader, but it's the same on TradeStation. When you get a white cross with no targets, it's a warning. There's a potential trade setup, but that and in this case, it would be long, and you'll see that right here. See this white marker right here? That's a potential trade, but the cyan line has not crossed above the yellow line on the histogram, and that's required to give you a white setup. That's the confirmation part of the counterpunch trade, the reversal trade rather than the continuation. The green and the purple are both continuation trades. No, it's not the chop indicator. The chop indicator is the dots there along the zero line. In this case, it is in the, I believe it's, yeah, that sets up right at the beginning of the chop zone, but it sets up above above the 50, so it's trading with the 50 EMA, so the chop filter doesn't come into play. But that's how the requirement for white trade is always the cross of the fast line above or below the slow line, depending on if it's a long or a short. But in the case I'm looking at here, the trade is still valid even though you're in chop, because it's with the 50 EMA. And crude hitting money management on the short. So our stop comes to 79.88. And also hitting target 1, so this will be a POQ trade. And that's a 17 tick target 1. At 77.72. So that will be another one and done session on crude. That's where you need to know the strategy. You can actually anticipate most of the trades, especially counterpunch and spotlight, especially on right now on the tick charts. No, on the range charts, it's really easy to anticipate where trades are likely to show up on these 3-bar strategies, 3-bar setups. Pound Aussie with long trade. $85.56. And money management on the Pound Aussie long trade. And almost target 1. 85.74. And there's target 1 on the Pound Aussie long. So that's, we'll have to make up for the loss. Stop at 85.57. Now the loss was and that loss was 18 pips times 5, so that's actually 90 pips. It's going to take some work to get there. Actually, it should be an even 100 because I made a 2-tick adjustment there. So we have 18 on target 1. Target 2 is 28. If we can get there, that'll get us almost halfway back. And if we get through all 4 targets, we will be positive. All right. Big trade on the YM. YM giving a strong short there. Just out. Looks like at 41. Yeah, at 41. $42, excuse me. But this morning we were already done with the YM. That would have been 23 or 35, depending on your target. Entry was 829, and it trailed down to 642. So 187 ticks. That's quite a trailer on the YM. I don't know, Don. I could be any number of things. Yes, it did take a strong move down. Crude also coming down, which is interesting. Crude's as low as it's been in a couple of weeks. It's been up in the $80 to 82 range for the last couple of weeks. Until the last few days. Heating oil trailing down as well off that last short trade. Actually, PD, I'd actually take a look at it's one of the possibilities on the YM, but I would actually take a look at probably the 14 tick, 12 to 14 tick range bar or momentum bar, 12 or 14 point momentum bar. Okay. We're another 10 minutes away from the micro ES mini session. We've got the pound Aussie long in process. The crude short going through target 2, and the trailer down to 77.68 now. So a really nice trade there. That is the 8-cent momentum bar, 8-tick range for NinjaTrader. That was 17 and 27, so 44 ticks on that session. So crude looks like it's still headed down. YM seems to be consolidating, but could still head down a little further. Pound Aussie seems to have hit some resistance, or at least pulling back a bit. Do we have other questions? If we don't have anything else, nice sized room this morning. Do hit the like button if you feel like you're getting benefit from the content. That does help Troy's channel. And we will be in Monday and Tuesday of next week. Next week is Thanksgiving week. Troy will be in Monday. I'll be in Tuesday. We'll be dark Wednesday and Thursday for the Thanksgiving holiday. PD, here's another case. The white trade marker showing up one bar before the actual trade plots. And there again, that's waiting for the histogram to cross over. The cyan line has to cross, in this case for short, below the yellow line. In this case, it's filtered out because the soybeans is in long and we're in hybrid mode. So until so it's gray rather than white, but it is a white, would be a white trade. It's grayed out because it's filtered by hybrid mode, requiring the trend indicator to agree with the trade for a reversal. So you get your potential setup here at 10:05:43, and you get the actual setup at 10:06:40. Actually, exchange times, those would be 9 o'clock Central. Then the trade, you get a red bar, or I'm sorry, you get the trend indicator turning red. So then the short trade becomes valid as a stop and reverse. And we also picked up the 2-tick trailer, or the chase ticks, because it had come through the entry already. And looks like it hit target 1, so that canceled the trade. That's money management before it came back up and hit the entry. So we're actually, the system is still in the long trade over here. And see, we're out of the chop zone now. You were in chop zone a couple of places here, between those two green dots and between these two back here. And this white trade became valid right at the beginning of that little chop zone. And that actually was our morning trade. You saw something after a setup on the YM. Oh, okay, looking at a. Yeah, I'm not looking at a spotlight on the YM, or I'm sorry, out on a counterpunch on the YM. But remember that the chop filter will only affect trades that go against the 50 EMA. If the trade goes with the 50, the chop filter will not filter it out. The chop filter is based on where the price action is in relation to the 50 and the 50 EMA and the direction of the trade. And I am going to let everybody go. Not much to talk about, and it looks like we pretty well hit all the questions. I'll wait a minute to see if we get any more. But that is our last session this week. We'll be in Monday and Tuesday next week. So everyone have a good weekend. Hope your weather is reasonably nice. Crude oil trade did finally stop out after going through all four targets. Pound Aussie is still long, although the stop is still sitting at 57 at the moment. It's going to have to go back up, because if this bar closes below the balance line, it's still going to remain at 57. So far, only the 18 tick or 18 pip target won, but still in progress. We will see everybody next week. Have a good weekend.